Good morning, gang. Okay, it is Friday. Again, another week in the books. So, good news, just went to go check my seeds, and no, this is not a gardening video, but yes, my pepperoncini are already up, my leeks are coming up, everything's come up except for my onions and my strawberries, and that's not bad for 6 days. So, yes, everything's working well. So, we're going to start with food, though. So if you guys paying attention at all, things went from bad to worse yesterday when it came to food. And all I'm going to tell you is you better get while you can get. While the getting's good, get it while you can, okay? Reuters came out yesterday and reported that a new outbreak of disease can hamper the hog recovery after the African swine fever contagion a few years ago that wiped out about half the country's hog herd in China, okay? Guess what that means? That means the Chinese are going to be buying the pork from the United States. After all, they own the largest pork processing company in the United States in Smithfield Foods. So where do you think the first sales are going to go? They own the company. They're going to send them over there. We get the leftovers from pork that's raised here in the good old USA, and we get the leftovers. Nice going. Okay. Now, we've all seen beef prices go through the roof, in the last year. I mean, I remember seeing and then even commenting on a video about steaks at 18 bucks a pound. But pork had stayed relatively affordable. I've been able to buy whole pork loins for under $2 a pound, anyway, $1.79, $1.99 a pound for the last few years at least. So this is kind of what's going on. The government data shows that China's pig herd expanded by 31% in 2020. Now, that's great, okay? But with the new outbreak of swine fever in the northeast and northern provinces and rising porcine epidemic diarrhea, the widespread increase of disease this winter has been very concerning to farmers. They're slaughtering hogs that can't be sent to market. Great. So guess what that did? That raised the price of pork in China to $5.57 per kilogram. Okay, now for those of you that don't know the metric system, that means the spot price of pork in China is now $2.52 a pound. Okay, $2.52. Now remember, that's the spot price, the whole unbutchered hog. Now, of course, there are added costs with processing and packaging, so that has to be added. And of course, then there's waste. So if you figured those kind of wash each other out, right, that still means the price of pork is going up by 25%, okay? If you think the Chinese, i.e. Smithfield, isn't going to pass those costs on to the American consumer, you're sadly mistaken, okay? Of course, they'll keep the prices low for China, and we'll pay 50% more because, hey, that can keep the prices there the same, and they'll just take the money from the United States. That's communism in action, guys. Take from somebody else, okay? Now, Beijing expects its pig herd to recover by the first half of 2021, but right now, rising pig prices suggest a shortage could materialize, and that's going to hit pork output this year. Okay. The USDA has also reported that China's made record purchases of U.S. corn products, sending prices to levels not seen since 2013. Judging by the dark winter of diseases in China's pig herds, Beijing could soon ramp up its pork purchases from U.S. farmers. And guess what that means? That means we're paying more for pork later this year, too. Stock it while you can, folks, because food inflation is coming quick. Okay. Now, on another topic of pork, okay, we're hearing about Biden's proposal for the next stimulus check. This is good, guys. You're going to want to hear this one because this one's not getting reported, okay? You know that pittance that our overlords are planning to grace us with that'll do absolutely nothing but drive inflation up? Well, here's the kick in the teeth. Not only is Biden backpedaling on the $2,000 that he promised all the people that voted for him, again, broken, promises made, promises broken, the Biden way, okay? He's now dropping his stimulus check to everybody to $1,400. The big thing is eligibility, okay? Remember how the last stimulus was given to individuals making under $75,000 and couples under $150,000? Well, that's been reduced. It's now individuals making under $50,000 and couples under $100,000. That's really going to whack the middle class. But then again, the whole leftist idea is to steal from the rich. or more likely the middle class, and give to the poor. So yes, folks, all those who worked for and want to still work for, your money, everything is now going to conveniently be given to those who think McDonald's is a career. Okay. Why? Because now we have to give $1,400 to each kid in a family too. Because, that 6-year-old that's been out of a job for so long, he needs a stimulus check too. Then add to that the Democrats are pushing for a child tax credit that would provide $3,600 per child under 6 and $3,000 per child age 6 to 17. So in other words, the old welfare workers comment of, you want more money, have another kid, is still going strong in 2021. Cost of this mess, a mere $420 billion. Okay. Not to be outdone, everybody's favorite liberal and conservative clothing, Mitt Romney, thinks it should be even more. That we should give $4,200 per year for every child up to the age of 6, as well as $3,000 per year for every child age 6 to 17. Not once, every year. So now we're going to actually pay people to have children. This is Mitt Romney's deal. Remember where he's from, okay? Nothing against the people of Utah, okay? Nothing against the Mormons at all. But why in the hell should a family get paid to have kids, okay? So do the math on this one, guys. That would mean a young couple, let's say they're early 20s, your normal childbearing age, okay, with 2 kids would get $2,800 for themselves, $8,400 each year for their children, and then a tax credit of $7,200 each year too. Nice. Over $11,000 a year in tax-free money, and then the first $7,200 they make after the first $24,400, that's $12,200 of each of our incomes that's non-taxable, okay, is tax-free. So now, if the couple made $24,400, got $2,800 in stimulus checks for themselves, $8,400 for the kids, okay, they would bring home $35,600 without paying a penny of income tax. And on top of that, would get a tax refund because of the child tax credit, because of that other $7,200, bringing their total untaxable income, to $42,800. Now, the average household income in my county in Tennessee is $44,671, okay? That's an $1,800 difference, okay? I guess the feds won't be seeing any tax money from my neck of the woods because, hey, who wanted a businessman in charge of the country anyway? A flim-flam man is a much better choice. See, this plan's going to do nothing but accelerate the bankrupting of the company. The government's going to have to raise taxes somewhere else. And don't tell me, on the rich, okay? So it's going to be in utilities or property tax or sales tax or vehicle tax or somewhere to pay for all of this. Because as much as they like to think so, even the dimmest bulb in Washington, AOC, has to know that you can't borrow your way out of debt, all right? So in these 10 minutes or so here, okay, we've now talked about food inflation, higher taxes, handouts for the poor, and they all come at your expense thanks to the rocket scientists that just took office, okay? Do you honestly think that Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or the likes are going to foot the bill? Hell no, okay? Remember, Buffett pays less in taxes than his secretary. He said that, okay? Gates writes everything off by his charitable contributions, and Amazon proudly pays no income tax, okay? Bend over, middle class. Here it comes. All I can say is you better be paying off your bills as fast as you can and stocking as much food as possible, because we're heading 90 miles an hour down a dead-end road, and the crash at the end is going to be spectacular. Those that still have their heads in the sand are going to suffer mightily, and I sure don't want everyone in this family to be one of the lambs headed to slaughter, okay? Guys, the country's collapsing. Morally, we know that. Ethically, we know that. Financially, we're seeing that. But then again, That is their plan, after all, isn't it? Pinball out.